Headphones.
Yeah, I'll let you at least hear yourself. I don't have.
Okay, maybe I don't want the headphones. Here we go.
Good morning and welcome to It's a Beautiful Day in Fairfield, our bi-weekly podcast where we just shoot from the hip. We talk about Fairfield, we talk about Wayne County, we talk about, we talk with interesting people. Not about interesting people, but with interesting people. I'm Mark Turner, that's Dustin Fuller, and Josh Livesay has joined us from the FCHS Band and choir groups, and also director of the city band.
That's right.
So, man, what's going on? You had a busy year this year.
It was awesome. This was one of the best, if not the best, years in teaching that I've ever had. I got to kind of lay back and just kind of guide these students. Because they're so talented. I just got to kind of guide them through what they wanted to do in the music program. I always ask them, like, what do you guys want to do? Well, we want to do a lot of pep band stuff because they like to rock.
Yeah.
Right, you can see that in the basketball games and the football games. They like to just get up and get rowdy.
And you brought back Ram Jam this year.
Yes! That was at the request of Miss Z. She said, "Can you do this? Do you have some people to do this?" And I said, "Oh, I got the group." Like, if there was ever a group, this would be the one. So we brought back Ram Jam. We always start the year with the Halloween concert, and this one we did a murder mystery. Mm-hmm. There's been a lot of murder mysteries going around, so I think it would be cool just to bring one more, except through a musical way, right? Mm-hmm. And then, of course, we had our Christmas concert. We went to the IHSA Boys State basketball tournament this year.
Second time in 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know that the band has ever done that before. And I happened to be looking on the IHSA website, and there it was, like, that you could audition. I thought, well, okay. This was the first time. So we went for it, and they're like, "Yeah, we want you to come up." And then we tried it again this year, and they're like, "Yeah, we want you to come up."
Wow.
I heard, now this was through the grapevine, that maybe I did hear that we were like the best there, but that's not as cool as I think as the fact that we were their favorite.
Oh, yeah. I was told, now correct me if I'm wrong, but I was told that the TV people had told you know what, just play through the commercials. We're fine with that.
Yeah.
I mean, that is so cool.
They're like, "Yeah, we're going to turn off the commercials and we'll just let you guys play."
Oh, that is so cool.
So
That is so cool.
I had one student, he came up to me. He was like, "Hey, can we do the Hey Song thing?" Because the Hey Song, you get up in front of the crowd and it goes, dun, 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 and they yell, "Hey, yeah,
let's go." Yeah.
So we started doing that, and one of my kids comes up and he's like, this was Jack DeSimone. He comes up, he's like, "Hey, can I get the crowd to do this?" I was like, "Yeah, go get him." So he runs over to the team's, like, fan bus people, everybody that's come to see him.
Right.
And he gets them in on the Hey Song. Well, then the other team's like, "Well, we want some of that too." So he runs over there and gets them going. And then the announcers are going. And
Oh,
so
that is so cool.
it was awesome. The whole place was just rocking. So, and that's a testimony to the kind of students and kids and people we have here in Fairfield. Not only are they wildly talented, but they're a blast.
Oh, man. Talk about the marching band aspect of things. I mean, you start things out, you're actually going before the football team's practicing, aren't you?
I'm not sure. Maybe so. I've already got music out to them.
Okay.
So the
Can,
kids
can
are.
we have a hint on the theme this year? On the
Yeah.
Okay.
So the theme is party on the football field.
All right. I love it.
So you can expect to see some grooving out there.
All right.
Here's the real question: Is there is there going to be major partying come this football season when they're going to the playoffs?
Oh, definitely. Oh, yeah. We'll have to step it up quite a bit then because I foresee that, man. Coach Townsend's a monster as far as coaches go.
I don't know if you saw. It's a couple of 3 weeks ago. Me and my wife posted online a video of a marching band doing Uptown Funk, and we tagged you in it.
Okay.
And
I don't remember if I saw
was
that
like,
or not.
I was like, that would be great for the band to play this year.
It really, that fits the theme too.
Yeah.
So we might have to pull that back
Yeah.
out. We used to do it years ago. We had this Barry sax player. I really think he played more by ear than he did by note.
Wow.
But he
That's
could.
impressive.
It is to play a Barry sax by ear.
Uh-huh.
He'd pick different melodies out, but he would lay down that fat bass line and just go to town. And when he left, I just kind of quit playing it because he was our bass guy.
Uh-huh.
So I might have to bring that back out at your request this year.
So how do you come up with the theme for every year? I mean, do you let the students help out? Do you pick it out?
Yeah. So it's a process. So I start with an idea like this. The first like prototype of an idea was like Battlefield on the football field.
Mm-hmm.
And so
you're playing like the 1812 overture and things like, you need a real cannon out there,
we
you
need
know.
our cannons. Yeah, well, and that's what it's written for too. Is the 1812 overture is written for cannons.
Mm-hmm.
But no, we were thinking like War Pigs by Black Sabbath.
Yeah, okay.
Or like I forget some of the other ones we had, like some Metallica, because the kids they're just eating up Metallica right now. They're wildly famous. Mostly the older stuff. I'm like, what's your favorite album? Oh, they're like, oh, I like Ride the Lightning. Like, wow, okay.
That's those a lot of those kids I don't think were even born when that album came out.
Not even close. Yeah, they weren't even a twinkle. So, but that's their album, So we were looking at that, and we found that it was kind of tough to put that together as far as finding the arrangements goes.
Right.
And so we went through several different ideas, because again, the rockers like a halftime show of darkness, and so we were like, paint it black, okay, back in black, kind of heralding the AC/DC that we'd just done this past year, and we're like, that's cool, but we want something that's going to get the crowd up and motivated, because I feel like that's our goal as a band is to get the crowd up and clapping and stomping, and not only is that a lot of fun, but it's very encouraging to our football team.
Yeah.
So we're like brainstorming, right? I get together with the leaders of the band, and they're like, well, I like this song, and another was like, I like this song, and we've never done this song before, but it's a cool song that would get the crowd involved. And so as we're starting to bounce these ideas, like a theme starts to emerge, right? So then as that comes together, one of us says, oh, this makes perfect sense. All the puzzle pieces are there. So we're going to throw down, this time it was Party on the Football Field.
Okay. And give me an idea. What type of songs are we talking about?
Like dance music.
Okay.
Like maybe some like Party in the USA.
Okay.
Who doesn't get up and dance to that song?
That's true. Good point.
So that's one of them. I'll give you a little preview. I want to tell you all of them because I'm the worst secret keeper of all time.
Keep us in suspense.
But I'm going to try to do that.
Okay. So, and then then you move on and you get the marching band going and it's pep band and and then when it comes around Valentine's Day,
yeah,
you guys are out with the Valograms.
Yes. Okay. So that idea, I don't remember if that was there when I got there, or if that was just like something that we thought, oh, that would be fun to get out into the community and bring the choir, and because everybody sees the marching band out,
right,
and I
yeah.
love that. That is so cool. That it feels like we're one of the big faces of the school. But I think about it, I'm like, man, the show choir, they are so talented and they're fun to work with, and they're kind of funny too sometimes, and they're entertainers. So I thought, what is something we could get out into the community? And so that's where Valograms came about. That how wonderfully embarrassing is it when this group of kids shows up to your door and then they start singing like a singing telegram, from your loved one.
Yeah.
And that's where part of it was started. There's like the romantic aspect to it, but there's also the let's see how
We want to embarrass you aspect.
right. Let's see how red their face can get. So there's that. I think this year, this coming year, we might do some like Christmas caroling to bring back that
Really cool.
musical tradition.
Yeah.
I love musical traditions because, back in the day, even back, I think about like pirate times, right? These are some of the manliest men ever to live.
Well, yeah. Yo ho yo.
Yeah. And they're out there singing sea shanties because what else are you going to do when you're on the high seas?
Yeah.
But they're out there singing, right? Vikings, they all had songs.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody had songs back in the day. Everybody was singing. And now sometimes I hear kids like, oh, I can't sing. I'm like, dude, anybody can sing.
I was researching trivia yesterday because I've got some what I think is some pretty cool trivia.
I can't
wait. But I was researching marching band trivia.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and popped up, and it said marching bands actually originated in the 13th century with the Ottoman Empire.
Okay.
When they went out to go into battle, they'd have a band with them.
Right.
And they,
Because it's very intimidating.
Yeah.
When you hear those big drums coming at you.
Right.
And even at that point, even a flute was intimidating, right?
Well, yeah, I thought that was just so cool.
That is neat.
That the Ottoman 13th century, 1293, and here comes some, 2 or 3 guys in big bass drums.
Yeah. I didn't realize it went back that far, but that makes perfect sense. They would use it for communication.
Yeah.
Too.
Mm-hmm.
It was partially to intimidate, but the other part was the communication factor, which they still use back until they had like the ham radios.
Yeah.
I got to be a part of like a reenactment group one time with I don't know if you remember Bill Reynolds.
Yeah.
Great guy. Oh, he's like my mentor as far as directing bands goes. But he said, "Hey, you want to go do a Civil War reenactment? You get to ride a horse and play a bugle." And I said, "Yeah, man, let's go." And so we're out there. He's got me on this Arabian, and he had me learn all these horn calls. And so I had to know the calls because that tells the battalion where to go while they're filming.
Yeah.
So if I got them wrong,
Yeah.
But that was kind of what was neat about
charge and recall and all those those fun things. Retreat.
And yeah, and my general's sitting here telling me, "Okay, here we go." And I think it was Bill actually. All right, give him the left face, the left flank. Okay, here we go. And so I thought that was one thing that was cool about the band tradition, is that it was also that communication, very important on a battlefield.
Let's talk about the city band a little bit.
Hey, yeah.
That is going to be starting up next month, right?
I think it's next week even.
Next week, okay.
Yeah. We better get the word out about that, huh? So the very last week of May is when we're starting, because if we don't, we get into that 4th of July range, and I just want to let people go on vacation and celebrate our country.
Yeah.
Not that we don't do that at every city band concert in some way, usually with the John Philip Sousa March. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we'll be starting up at the very end of May, that last week, last Thursday.
I was going to say, I think I read on Wayne County Now this morning that practices start Tuesday next week.
That's right.
First concert's Thursday.
Yes.
And if you're still interested, contact you, correct?
That's right. Come on out,
So,
let's jam.
Starts the last Thursday of this month, so
Right.
that'll be
The 30th.
May 30th.
Yeah, May 30th.
There's also a county board meeting that night.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
So you'll serenade them.
That's right. We've got some great music.
What a great way to sell. I mean, it's a tradition that has been going on for years, and the amount of people that are in the city band.
Yeah.
And then you see the people that come out. I mean, people start lining up the chairs at 4 or 5 in the afternoon.
I love that.
I mean, it's great.
It is so cool to have this, and I think the tradition, I think it goes almost 200 years. We did some research few years ago. So I think it was 2019 that it was 187 years, not consecutive, but 187 years that the city band has been around.
Almost since the beginning of the foundation of Fairfield.
Right. So band and music are laid into the foundation, like you say, of Fairfield. I think that's so neat. And so it's an honor, it's a privilege, and it's so humbling to be the band leader of this awesome organization. And of course, to celebrate that, we do some older tunes from like the 1800s even.
Always a theme this year. Always a theme every month, yeah.
Because how would you program a concert without a theme?
Well, that's true.
I know there's people who do it, and I just want to ask them, like, how do you choose your music?
Just whatever pops. It's kind of like we do, just kind of whatever pops in our head at that moment.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
But, you just turn around and go, hey, we're going to play this.
Yeah.
1, 2,
1, 2, 3, 4. So we're doing, I think our first concert is a concert of just really memorable tunes. You mentioned the William Tell Overture.
Yeah.
I think that's in the first concert.
Really?
I believe so. Rodeo by Aaron Copland's going to be in there.
Yeah.
The Beef, It's What's for Dinner song.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of people know it. Let's see. We're going to be doing some Sousa. I think the Washington Post is on there.
Okay.
So just a lot of really recognizable band and classical stuff that it's just enjoyable. See, and that's what good music is music that you can go back and listen to it 200 years later, and it's still good.
Mm-hmm.
It still stands. Good music stands the test of time.
Yeah, it sure does. Sure does. Let's switch gears a little bit.
Sure.
Talk about Josh Livesay.
Oh, wow.
How did this all start? How
don't
did you
even know.
become you?
Well,
and before
gosh.
we get into that, and we've had this question asked, and we ask this question every time we see the band perform. Where do you get the energy from? I mean, are you drinking straight caffeine, or you?
no, this is really just for show.
Okay.
Because I get that question sometimes, like, where are you getting that energy from? And so I had to start carrying coffee around to make it look like that's where it comes from. But
Do you have a sponsor for that?
I should get one.
Yeah.
It'd be Folgers.
Yeah.
I like the 1850 blend. If you haven't tried it, it is delicious. So I don't know. It's just what I'm doing is so much fun that I totally just get lost in the moment and don't realize that there's a lot of energy going out here.
They say if you enjoy your work, you never work a day of life.
Dude, I haven't worked in like 12 years.
That's great.
Since I became a teacher. It's awesome. So it's just fun. And when you're working with fun people and you're doing fun stuff, it just kind of happens.
Cool. So anyway, back to that. How did you become you?
Okay. Great question. I don't know. No. I grew up in Christopher, Illinois, but my grandparents were Mulkeytown folk, which it has a population of 500, but it has the surface area of like Fairfield and all the surrounding towns.
And they have a Maid-Rite.
And a Maid-Rite, yes, which is delicious.
Oh my gosh!
If you get the chance, that's like what Christopher and Mulkeytown and Buckner are famous for.
Every year when we go to Christopher for football, I go, we're going to Maid-Rite. We're going to Maid-Rite. We're going to Maid-Rite. And never fails. We get done with the football game, and they're closed.
Oh,
never
no.
fails.
Oh, so you got to go in before.
Yeah. We're going to have to leave extra early this year, I think.
Yeah, like 5 o'clock, there's going to be a rush. It's going to be all the construction guys.
Yeah.
I know, because I used to be a construction guy. And we could have made right for lunch or for dinner. So I'm from Christopher, and then my grandparents were Mulkeytown people. Now, my grandpa, he was a high school principal. He was a grade school band director. He was a high school band director. He was an English teacher.
Kind of ingrained in you then.
In a lot of ways. Well, yeah, because his dad was a jazz musician.
Okay.
And he was a jazz musician. So aside from all those gigs that he had, he also played in nightclubs. Back when you didn't put it on the record, you had a band there to dance to. And so that's kind of what he did. That's funny because he would make me practice every day after school. And I had this show that I wanted to watch on the Disney Channel, and it'd be like, no, you gotta go practice your horn. I was so mad at him for that every time. But now I look back, and those are some of the most wonderful memories because that is a lot of what shaped me into who I am today. So the lesson there is, because there's always a lesson in every part of life, the lesson there is that we sacrifice the things that we say desire or we want to do to the greater things that are making us who we are, to the thing that we were born to do.
Okay.
So that was he lived on a farm, and so it was a duck farm. If you've ever seen a duck farm, they ran field trials and things like that out there. And so I like to say I gave horn calls to the ducks. But he had 1,000 of them.
Wow.
1,000 English call ducks. And so I kind of grew up out there. My grandma taught me a little bit of piano. I learned trumpet. I wanted to learn guitar, but at the time, this is funny, unless it was jazz guitar, my grandpa didn't see it as a legitimate art form. Like, no, rock and roll is for for not musicians. So I didn't get to play guitar. And so later on in life, as like a rebellion, maybe, I did learn how to play.
How many instruments do you play?
I don't know. On a daily basis.
Yeah.
I play trumpet probably the most.
Okay.
Because that's your melody instrument. And if we're going to really lay down a song, you got to have the melody to be strong. And so that's kind of how I play with my trumpet players. And they pick up off me. So that's probably the most. I also play the French horn. I was playing trombone the other day. I play a lot of guitar, a lot of bass. I play a little drums. I'm almost embarrassed to say that. You know what the definition of a gentleman is?
I'm listening.
Somebody who can play drums but doesn't.
Speak of.
This is a podcast, and don't have to attune with the rules of the FCC, but we still try to keep it clean as we can.
That's right.
I was gonna say, my best friend, she's got a 5.5-year-old, and for Christmas, I wanted to get him a drum set.
There you go.
I'm pretty sure she would threaten me with my life.
I was gonna say, what did she do to you that you would do that?
She would threaten me with my life if I got the kid a drum set.
No, you know what? People say that. To me, that exploration at that young age, that is such a beautiful thing. We don't, when you go to like a little kid's basketball game, we don't cringe when they throw just airball every time. Or I went to my son's baseball game, and I'm so proud of him for his hustle and for his ability to throw, his ability to bat. We need to practice on that. But we don't cringe at those things. So why would we cringe when you get the kid a drum set and they're exploring, they're learning, they're learning about sound and space and rhythm and timbre, and see, the child is musical, like it's innate. You hear babies sing.
Oh yes.
Right?
Oh yeah.
So I get all my nieces and nephews a drum set first thing.
I understand. But there's so many types of percussion too. Like some of the things I've learned by watching some like short reels on Facebook or whatnot. Like there's a steel pan, there's ravas, there's like a glockenspiel, which is like a xylophone in a way.
Right.
There's just so many.
You didn't say that right. It's the Glockenspiel.
Glockenspiel.
Deutsch.
Glockenspiel.
Sprachen Sie Deutsch.
Plain Deutsch.
Nein. It's my favorite word in German.
I'm referring to old cartoons.
Yes.
Big Bugs Bunny and those guys. They're the Glockenspiel. Hassenpfeffer.
Yes. That was my first introduction into classical music. How did you get into classical? How Bugs Bunny, man. Kill the wabbit, kill the wabbit.
Those were great.
It was so good. That was the introduction to Wagner.
Mm-hmm.
Great composer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So who is your favorite? I mean, is it Wagner? Is it Bach?
Do you know, as far as composers go?
Mozart?
Okay, how do you choose? It's probably a Johann, though. There's a lot of Johanns. Bach is great because each one of his notes was to the Lord. Like, every note he had in the divine scale, right? So if you think of do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. So do, the idea of do is short for Dominus, which means God the Father.
Okay.
Sol is the heavens. I think the most interesting one of all of them, though, is mi. And mi, the way the Greeks thought of it, it's short for microcosm. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm probably butchering it. But microcosm, which means tiny universe, like microcosmos, right? The Greeks thought that was synonymous with man. So they thought that every human being is a tiny universe within themselves. And Bach wrote in that light, in the light of the divine scale. So Bach's pretty cool. I like Wagner because, to me, he was the first heavy metal dude.
Yeah.
Like when you dun 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 dun, the Ride of the Valkyries, and the Valkyries are coming out of the sky and raining fire, and you've got Siegfried down there with his sword. Like, it was just cool. So Wagner was great, but I have to say, my favorite is probably Johann de May.
Okay.
Most people have never heard of Johann de May, but he wrote the Lord of the Rings Symphony.
Okay.
It's like, you got to go listen to it.
Okay.
It's so good. It's in 5 movements. The first movement is Gandalf, the White Wizard, right? So it starts with da 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 da, and you've got Gandalf, and he's riding his horse, and you can even hear it at one point, like the whip cracks, and then the second movement is the elves. It's this mysterious, flowing piece of music, and the third one is Gollum. Right, so if you know anything about the Lord of the Rings, he's really, like, we think of like the big antagonist, but he's the guy who oppresses the ring bearer, Frodo.
My precious.
Yes, dude. Can you do a Gollum voice?
I don't know.
It's tough. It's a tough one.
I don't think.
Okay, that's all right.
My precious.
Oh, that's good.
That's sort of. I don't know.
That's good.
I'm trying to remember back to watching Lord. I haven't watched it for a while, so.
Oh man, if you watch, have you seen the extended editions?
No, I have not.
I could nerd out on Lord of the Rings all day, man. So then you've got the 4th movement, which is their journey in the dark, right? So, and then finally, like Gandalf dies at the end of that movement, and you can hear the tragedy and the heartbreak that all the characters are going through. And then in the final movement, you've got Gandalf comes back, and then the hobbits are rejoicing, and it's called Hobbits. So I gotta say, favorite composer, Johann de May.
De May, okay.
With the Lord of the Rings Symphony.
You mentioned Bach and the do, re, mi. See, when I hear that, I think of do, a deer, a female deer.
Right.
You know?
The Sound of Music.
Yeah, I think it's the Sound of Music song. That's what I think of.
So how do you feel about the Sound of Music?
I haven't seen it for a long time.
Yeah.
But
see,
I mean, I know when I was in junior high.
Yeah.
Every junior high choir, you had to sing do, a deer, a female deer, a golden drop of sun. You had to do all that.
Call myself.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I had to sing that too in junior high, and I wasn't even in choir back then. Why do I have to sing this?
Every music class did it.
Right. And it's brilliant.
Oh,
like the way
it's one of those soundtracks, one of those tunes that when you hear it, you can't get it out of your head.
No, right.
I mean, it's written. I mean, that to me, that's the definition of a very good song.
Yeah.
When it's played and you just all of a sudden can't get it out of your head.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. This
just
is
like when you're in the elevator and you hear dun 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 dun. dun
the girl from Ipanema.
Yeah.
Yes.
All day. That's all you can think about.
It's stuck.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I think that's a good way to define good music.
So.
And the whole soundtrack of The Sound of Music is like that.
Yeah.
Like you raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens. Like you have that one. You've got the hills are alive with the sound.
Yeah.
It's just like the whole thing is like that. as much as I love the soundtrack, I didn't really understand the story as a kid. And I remember somebody trying to get me into it. It was Dave Kosmatka, the band director. And I was like, all right, we'll go watch The Sound of Music. All right. Because we used to get together and watch musicals. He's like, you're going to love it. So we're watching it. Now it means more having 5 children.
Yeah.
Like people call us the Von Trapp family, the Von Livsays. And so we're actually in the middle of learning that song where they go to bed. The so long, farewell, Auf Wiedersehen it. So we're working on that one. So don't quote me on it yet. Give me about a year, and we'll have that whole scene worked out.
Wow.
But then there's this whole turning point. You have the family life, and then this turning point where there's Nazis and there's car chases and there's gunfights. It's like I must have fallen asleep through this part. Because it gets really exciting the last quarter of the musical.
It does. So, as far as musicals are concerned, what are you looking for in a good musical? What's your favorite?
How do I choose? No, I've got a list. Okay, here we go. So, coming in at number 3 is Wicked.
Okay.
So,
all right.
I love The Wizard of Oz. That would probably be number 4. Oh man, that's up there too, though. Okay, so maybe The Wizard of Oz.
Have you seen the Michael Jackson version of
The Wiz?
The Wiz.
No, I've heard the music from it.
I remember going to the theater.
Yeah.
When that movie came out and watching it.
Yeah.
I was about 10 or 12 years old.
Oh,
and
wow.
I was like, wow. And now I saw it on TV a couple 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, I had to sit down and watch it.
Yeah. I've got to check that out. Another one that Dave recommended to me. I've heard the music from it, and it's so good.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it'll get you grooving.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I've got to check that out. One thing I didn't understand about The Wizard of Oz until I guess I was watching it with my wife. That's her favorite musical of all time. So you've got this girl, so she gets the bump on the head, and there's the tornado and everything, and she goes to the land of Oz. So she's trying to get home, right? Mm-hmm. And she meets the 3 people along the way who, on the surface, of course, that's the people she left, right? That was the people she left behind her, the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, the Lion. So the Scarecrow is singing the song about If I Only Had a Brain.
Right.
The Tin Man, If I Only Had a Heart. The Cowardly Lion, wanting some courage. So you've got the Scarecrow who comes up with all of the best plans. Like throughout the movie, he's the big brain of the operation, really. Right. And then the Tin Man, he's so emotional that he rusts himself with his tears, right?
Yeah, right.
So the Cowardly Lion, when he's horrified that he's going to be like a rug, turned into a rug, he's also the one who charges in to save his friends. Mm-hmm. So you've got the Scarecrow who already has a brain, you've got the Tin Man who already has a heart, and you've got the Cowardly Lion who, if it weren't for the fear, there would be no need for the courage, right? Because fear...
Right. Without fear, you cannot have courage.
Right. The two go hand in hand. And so I think it's so cool that from the beginning, every one of the people, including Dorothy, right? Because she's got the ruby red slippers, her ticket home on her feet the whole time. Every one of them have everything they need. They just have to come to that realization that they have it all already.
Find a place where you can see The Wizard of Oz on the big screen.
Okay.
I saw it a few years. I liked The Wizard of Oz before. Yeah. After I saw it it's completely different.
Oh, that's
completely
awesome.
Different experience. And where I saw it was an old theater in St. Louis, Art Deco theater. Which just completely was incredible. Yeah. To see on the big screen. So
I've heard sometimes St. Louis will like the Powell Hall, the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra will sometimes play the music while the movie's going on.
Oh wow.
That would be cool to see. Too.
All right, so Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz is up there. So then on the other side of it's Wicked, because you've got the dichotomy of good and evil, and how a lot of times propaganda makes things that are good seem evil and things that are evil seem good. So it's that blurred line, and you've got to decide what is good based on what you know to be true. Then so that goes on to Into the Woods, right? That's probably my second favorite musical that the high school just did.
Yeah.
The hardest musical I've ever seen anybody put together, and our high school did it and did an amazing job with it. Not just a good job, but an amazing job. So hats off to Colin McDuffie and Mrs. Reaver for putting that together, because that's my second favorite musical of all time. Okay. I thought the Disney adaptation of it was not a good one, because the question that the musical asks is why. Mm-hmm. Like, why do things happen? So you've got this chain of events that causes all the different actions and reactions and plots to interlock and intertwine. But the Disney one is like, oh yeah, stuff happens and it's bad and you got to deal with it.
Too Disney-fied.
It's too Disney-fied. I love Disney in a lot of ways. That's not one of them.
Yeah.
And a lot of people would be like, what? You like Disney? You talk so badly out of it. And I do. But there's some things that they do that's okay, like the Marvel movies. So finally, best musical.
Now wait a minute.
We're not there yet?
One of my favorite Disney
films. Let's go. Yeah.
Fantasia.
Fantasia's fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, that's a Disney film, which
It is.
I love Fantasia.
Yeah.
And even the second incarnation of Fantasia was really good.
See, I haven't seen that one.
They had a second one. It's okay.
Yeah.
But the music is great.
Yeah.
But the first one is just, I mean, to me, that's like,
well, it's got
I could sit and watch that all the time.
It's got like Night on Bald Mountain on it. Yeah. It's got the Sorcerer's Apprentice. Mm-hmm. So
the little dancing mushrooms and the elephants and
it's so wild.
You look at that and you go, man, what were they on
well,
when they did that?
It's like a fever dream.
Yeah.
But it's so good in like the imaginative sense.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a dream.
Yeah.
You know.
Which I think a lot of movies have gotten away from, that like stream of consciousness. I don't know if you're much on literature, but like James Joyce would have those stream of consciousness moments where it's just so fulfilling to the imagination to go from just one wild moment and scene to the next. And that Fantasia did a fantastic job with that.
Anyway, I thought I'd throw that out there.
No, that's good.
Okay,
good
number
call.
one on your list.
Number one is Les Mis.
Okay.
The story of redemption. Mm-hmm. A man, a thief, condemned to life in prison or worse, horrible prison, and then his soul is bought, right? So he gets caught stealing, and the priest says, "Oh no, he's not stealing. I gave those things to him." And then later on, that priest has the conversation with him and says, "You know what? I just bought your soul for God. You can take this, but now you got to live to be an honest man for the rest of your days." And he really tries to do that, right? Jean Valjean, he tries to do that. And he faces trial and struggle and moments of truth and moments of reconciliation. And finally, in the end, like, it's getting me all teary-eyed thinking about it. But finally, in the end, it's clear that he gains his redemption.
Okay.
So that's, to me, it's my favorite because that's our story, right? Or many of our story as followers of Christ is that we're bought at the highest price. And so to honor the Lord is our best bet. So that's why Les Mis is my favorite.
Family-wise, 5 kids. You guys are very active musically. Wife Shelby included.
Oh yeah, she is a great singer. In fact, I wouldn't be anything of a singer if it wasn't for her.
Okay.
She used to give me singing lessons. And it was fun because I would be trying to figure something out and she would laugh. She'd laugh at me. She's like, "No, that's not how you do that." That's terrible. Fix it. Right. So she's really musical and she plays a little piano.
Okay.
Before we got all our kids, we used to go and do like worship services. Mm-hmm. And she'd be like, "You sing with me." I'm like, "No, you sing. You're a better singer."
You're whispering on stage, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Come on,
No, you go.
I'm sure it wasn't awkward at all. But then she finally did get me out of the shell and get me to sing with her.
That's funny. Got you out of your shell.
Yeah, well,
Wait, you have a shell?
I'm a really shy person.
Was
guys.
there ever a shell?
I'm very shy. When I was earliest memory, when I was 3 years old, I was supposed to be a prancing pony on stage.
Uh-huh.
And I got on stage and I saw the people. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is horrifying!" So I ran off, vowed to never do stage again.
Yeah.
How's that work out?
Well, so yeah, she's the real singer, and then so she teaches our kids to sing, and I try to help, but she's the genius, and she's really the genius behind the operation as well. I'm just the helper.
All right, let's we're gonna have you play a song for us here in a little bit.
Oh,
You brought
great.
your guitar.
Okay.
As we head out of the show here in just a bit, we're gonna have you play a song for us. Weather-wise, today's looking real good. Highs about 90 or so. We're looking Wednesday, maybe some rain Thursday and Friday. Saturday looks good. Sunday more back to rain. Maybe some storms coming in because of the heat. And then next week is looking pretty good. A little bit cooler next week. So.
All right.
Yeah, there is a slight chance of severe weather, by the way, tomorrow night.
Okay.
And then Sunday as well.
All right.
So does that mean we're going to have pretty good weather for the City Band concert?
That
hope.
let me see here.
Bodes well.
Right now you're looking at sunshine.
Yeah, there we go.
With a high of 77 and a low of 55.
We'll take
There
it.
we go.
That's perfect.
That's ideal.
That's perfect weather. For
Yes,
the City
it
Band
is.
Concert. Of course, don't hold me to it because it may change in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway,
Very
right now
well.
that's what it's looking for. Lots of stuff going on this weekend, as always, and you've got a list of those.
Yeah, let's look at the golf scramble coming up. Friday is the Wayne County Chamber Golf Scramble. It is at the golf course on the north side of town. Grand prize is $250. Still have some time to register. Mark, have you got your tee shot ready?
No, I'm just hoping. Well, I don't have a team yet. I'm not.
You don't have a team?
I'm not going to be able to play this year. So.
Well, I don't think I'm going to be able to play
gonna,
either.
Actually, going to be out of town Friday, so I can't make it. But for future golf outings, they need to have a price for the worst team because I always seem to be on the worst team.
I think I would be joining you.
Yeah.
On that worst team.
See, every time I go out to golf, like it's not even a challenge. I always get the highest score. So I'm like, I must be the best golfer there ever was.
See, I've mentioned this before, but here's my method of scoring for golf. If I come with 6 golf balls and leave with 5, I finish 1 under.
Oh yeah.
And if I leave with 7 or 8, I finish with 7 or 8 over.
There you go.
Or 2, 1 or 2 over.
That's a good way to score.
That's
yeah. I think I'm going to go with your method.
Golf balls aren't cheap, so
Right.
I actually a couple of years ago on hole number 10, the water hole.
Okay.
I actually hit the ball, and the cover came off the ball.
Oh, hey.
and the only reason the cover came off the ball is because I had found some golf balls in the basement at the flower shop.
Yeah.
And they had been down there for like 20 years. So it's like I could have bounced it on the ground and the cover would have popped off. But,
you didn't have to tell that part.
I didn't have to tell that part, but, just being honest. Honest and real,
Honest and real.
Yeah. Oh,
but when I tell the story about you, I'm going to tell them that you popped that cover right off there.
Yep, hit the ball so hard, popped that cover right off.
It's got power.
By the way, with the Chamber Golf Scramble this Friday, there are still spots available. They're limited, and there are 2 tee times. One is 8 in the morning. The other is at 1. There'll be a light breakfast and lunch available as well. For more on the Wayne County Chamber Golf Scramble, contact Libby at the Chamber.
Yep.
618-842-6116. She'll be more than happy to sign you up. Next on the list is the summer reading program. Sign-ups are going on now at the Fairfield Public Library. 10 to 6 are the hours at the library Monday through Thursday, 10 to 2 on Friday and Saturday. Registration going on now through June 1st. Program runs through July 5th. It's for those in grades 1 through 8. Readers are welcome, and at the end of it all, there will be a party at Skateland Roller Sport July 5th from 10 a.m. until 12 noon.
All right.
All right.
I know that somebody I know is doing the first one. So if you want to come out and do some music,
I hadn't even mentioned that part yet.
Okay. Sorry.
I was going to say, I know that's part of the kids' activities in June. I believe music with Mr. Livesay is on that agenda.
I like it.
It is,
and it's not on this list, but several fun activities for the kiddos this summer at the library, and music with Mr. Livesay was the very first thing. I think I saw. Yes. Dinosaurs were on it.
That's the one I'm going to.
Am I allowed to be a little kid?
Yes.
Okay.
I won't tell anyone.
Okay.
Everybody should be allowed to be a kid.
Yes.
Yeah. As long as Michelle over at the library is okay with it, I'm going to go be a little kid for a day.
If she has a problem, I've got your back. No, she'll be good. She'll be fine.
Oh, yeah.
She's great.
Feeding Kids of Wayne County. This is a new program that Mitty Odie has put together, and food insecurity is a real issue these days. And one way that Feeding Kids of Wayne County is doing that is by trying to help that, especially with the kids home for the summer already. Their program starts May 27th and runs through early August. If you're in the city of Fairfield, there are 3 places for pickup of food items daily, sack lunches. If you're in Sisney, Jeff, or Wayne City, you have the opportunity to pick up groceries once a week at the park in Sisney, at the park in Wayne City, or at Jeff Grade School.
What a great program. Mindy Odie is going to join us on Friday the 31st. We're going to talk about that program.
Oh, cool.
I'm looking forward to hearing more about that program. I know I've read several things, and I've had things on Wayne County Now about it, but there's a ton of things. I've seen a bunch of donation pictures, a bunch of donations for it. I think it's a very good program, and another thing, some of these schools, I haven't seen anything around here per se. Maybe Mount Vernon I've seen where they have the free meals at the schools that USDA puts on and whatnot. So that's just a few other things. June 1st, the Fairfield Fire Department and Marshall will be out in the parking lot at FNB Community Bank. You can enjoy lunch and drinks with the family. Kids can explore that safety house. They just got a new safety house. The money raised for this pork chop and pork burger sale is going towards repairs for that house.
All right.
And I don't know if you guys, when we were some of us were younger, we had the opportunity to go through a safety house. I got that opportunity, and sometimes that door can be a little hot if you are touching it the wrong way.
Ooh.
Just remember, back of the hand.
Back of the hand first, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Back of the hand.
That's right, so you can singe the hairs on the back of your hand and find out if it's really hot.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. Oh, and the smoke in the house. Did you ever notice it smelled like pancakes?
That's the best kind of smoke.
That is, yeah.
So it's similar to the fog and like the haze juice that you would see in a fog machine.
Yeah.
I believe it's the same product.
Gotcha.
All right.
So a chance to help out the fire department with their safety house that they plan on taking around to all the schools, showing the kids what to do if, say, the unthinkable happens.
Yeah. That is so smart to do. Preparation, yeah. That's what keeps people safe.
Are you ready for some basketball?
3-on-3 basketball, or the basketball camp's coming up.
Yeah.
Ooh, there we go.
Fairfield Mules basketball camp. There are a few options on there. We have the information on the screen. It's coming up starting June 1st. And that's always a fun time.
Oh, yeah.
Might have to have a group game of horse.
Yeah.
You don't seem so confident about that.
You know what? I could do that.
Mark can hang.
I think I could give you a challenge.
I could I could shoot back in the day.
There we go.
Of course, I didn't. I will just tell you this. I did not make one three-pointer in high school.
Wow.
What?
Well, they didn't have three-pointers back then.
Oh, okay.
I'm old enough. I was pre-three-pointer.
Wow.
Oh, way to reveal your age.
I know. Well,
I didn't realize you were a day over 30.
Well, 30 is the new 20.
That's right.
Or
Yes.
10.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well,
You
heck,
kid.
I'll be 34 at the end of the week.
There you go.
I'm still
34 is
wanting
the
to
new
go to the
14.
kids section of the
You go.
library.
There you go.
I'm ready for Music with Mr. Livesay coming up early next month.
All right.
Let's go.
All right, and last but not least on this list, Fairfield's Fall Fun Fest. Mark it on your calendar.
Going to be a week later this year.
September
Okay.
18th through the 21st, downtown. The streets will be done by then,
I
I would think.
always gain at least 20 pounds that week.
Same.
Yeah.
They always have such good food.
Yeah, so much for the diet that week. Don't
Yeah.
start a diet that week.
No.
When I was working at a previous job, I had a promotions person that they decided they wanted to start a cleanse that week.
Oh.
And
Why?
you have the foodie of the bunch working in the booth with you. So just to be that person,
Yeah.
between fried Oreos, fried Twinkies, elephant ears, I would make sure bring it all to the booth right by.
Oh, yeah.
Just to be that person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing my weekly cleanse, too. Fair food.
Mhm.
Fairfield Fall Fun Fest
Yep.
food.
I'm cleansing all the good stuff out of my body, and I'm eating the good stuff.
That's
Yes.
All the good
Yes.
for me stuff.
Okay, so what's your favorite Fairfield Fall Fun Fest food?
Well, corn dogs with Jan and Dean got to be right up there on top.
Oh,
Right, that's always a good one.
Funnel cakes from
Okay.
Jenny's. She makes the
Oh.
best funnel cakes.
She really does.
Um,
And she's got a variety of them.
oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So she's got like the birthday cake
I
style.
had one from Jenny's a couple years ago. The banana split funnel cake. Everything was including ice cream
Yeah.
on the funnel cake.
Oh, yeah.
And
That's a funnel cake.
the big boy catering, the ribeyes, and the piggyback from there. The stromboli.
The stromboli.
The stromboli.
That's what my wife goes
I can't
for.
even I can't even think of the. One of the churches does it, and I'm sorry that I can't think of the name, but man, that stromboli is out of this world.
Yes, it is. We look forward to that every
yeah.
year.
This was not on the list, by the way. Memorial Day services next Monday.
Right.
Okay.
Dave Land is the MC and is the guest speaker for Fairfield's memorial service at 11 a.m. We'll have that streamed on Wayne County Now. And also Wayne City service, 2 in the afternoon next Monday. We'll try to stream that
All right.
as well on Wayne County Now. I say that because you never know what the cell signal is.
Yeah.
And if we can't stream it for some weird reason, we'll record it and upload it.
All right. So, anyway, I was telling you about trivia.
Is it time for trivia?
It's time
I've been
for
waiting
trivia.
For this. Yay.
All right. I got to get ready.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. These trivia, we've got some music trivia questions. We've got some movies trivia questions. We've got some movie soundtrack trivia questions.
Yes.
All right. All right, here we go. Number 1. Who won the first American Idol?
Oh, wow.
I know this one.
Okay.
I'm just letting Josh have this one first.
Oh, I don't really know, but I'm going to go with, was it Kelly Clarkson?
It was
Yes.
Kelly Clarkson.
Okay. My wife would kill me
All
if
right.
I didn't get that one.
Number
Kelly,
2.
She's good.
What rock guitarist played on the Michael Jackson song Beat It?
Oh, wow.
He was in a
know this
band
one.
with his brother,
That I don't know.
Eddie Van Halen.
Was it Van Halen?
It was Eddie Van Halen
Okay.
that played the guitar solo on Beat
Well,
It.
jump.
Yep.
Great tune.
All right, this is a long one. This TV show was one of the best starting places for young people who wanted to break into the showbiz or music scene. It was known for fostering young talents like Justin Timberlake, Britney Spears, and Christina
Mickey Mouse Club.
Aguilera before they even became pop stars.
Mickey Mouse Club.
It is the Mickey Mouse Club.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Complete this lyric from this song. 76,
trombones.
led the big parade from the Music Man.
I just ordered that, so you can look forward to that in the city band too.
That is those old musicals, man. They were so good.
Classic.
You know,
so good.
I mean, there was a whole decade.
Yeah.
You know, about a decade where they did Music Man in Oklahoma and
Yes.
South Pacific. I mean, they just remade all of those into movies, which was really great. All right, associated with bluegrass, folk, and country music, this instrument is typically fitted with 4 or 5 strings, but other models have 6.
I'm thinking banjo.
It is the banjo.
Okay.
All right. This is the oldest musical instrument in existence.
Ooh. Probably some sort of drum.
The drums.
Yeah.
Because you could just sit on a fallen tree.
Right.
You know.
And you don't need electricity for them.
Right. No, right.
Right.
Probably your belly.
All right. Yeah, that's true. You can do that. Or your head, you know.
One time I was thinking, okay, where did music come from? And I just pictured a caveman drumming on his belly.
Yeah,
You know?
that's true. All right. This movie features Nick Cannon as a gifted street drummer who
Drumline.
Drumline, yeah.
There you go. Drumline. All right, this movie was about a show choir from William McKinley High School in Lima, Ohio.
It's not Pitch Perfect, is it?
No,
Nope.
No,
They were in
think
college,
it was
weren't
Pitch
they?
Perfect.
it was made into a TV show too.
Oh.
Huh.
Well, the TV show might have been first.
Not
Okay.
Glee.
Is it
was
Glee?
It was
It is Glee,
Yeah,
okay.
it is Glee.
Makes
The
sense.
fictional William McKinley High School.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Some more movie. This movie tells the tale of a Vegas club singer who is placed in witness protection in a Catholic high school and directs the choir to new heights.
Was this the one that Sister Act?
I think there were
Was
3
it
of them. Yeah,
Sister
there were
Act?
3
Yeah.
of them made Sister Act. They had some
Great.
I was
had some
thinking Whoopi.
really, really famous singers in that.
Yeah. And famous tunes that came on to be really famous
Yeah.
too.
All right. Who is known as America's March King and has a musical instrument named after him?
John Philip Sousa and
Yep.
the sousaphone.
You betcha. All right. Couple 3 more here. All right. This band used the USC Trojan Marching Band in their song called Tusk.
Oh.
Wasn't ZZ Top? No.
Huh.
I'm thinking way out there.
There's a band called OK Go that used a marching band in theirs, but that was
It's a
The Two Shall
70s
Pass.
70s rock band.
okay.
Okay.
I should know this.
If I Google this, I'm gonna. But I can't Google this.
You're gonna kick yourselves.
I want to say ZZ Top, but I don't think
No.
that's right.
Fleetwood Mac.
Fleetwood
Oh
Mac, of
my.
course.
Yeah. They used.
Yep, definitely kicking myself.
Yeah.
So
All right.
good.
This type of band normally performs at halftime.
That would be
The Pep Band.
the marching band.
The marching.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Same.
Here we go.
Same capacity.
Last 2. The $1 Million Band is from what university?
Ooh.
Probably
not a-
costs $1 million to go there.
Ohio State?
It is not Ohio State. Most of the bands with the nicknames come from the South. Come from
Okay.
like the SEC.
Gotcha.
University of Alabama.
Okay.
Roll Tide, the $1 Million
Roll
Band.
Tide,
and then
yes.
there's the band so good that has no name. That's Auburn. And
Okay.
then there's another one like Pride of the South. I mean,
Yeah.
They have all these marching bands. Okay, last question. This Irish band has been recognized as the oldest college band in the nation.
The Dubliners?
It's a college band.
Oh, it's a college band.
Yeah.
Okay.
Notre Dame.
It is
Notre Dame. Yeah, there you go.
Yep. All
Fun
right.
fact: Notre Dame, before they ended up at South Bend, was projected to be in Montgomery, Indiana, at one point.
Really?
Yeah, which is Davies County, about an hour and a half from here.
About 30 minutes north of Lafayette.
Okay.
Is that right?
No,
No?
30 minutes from Vincennes.
Vincennes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay, so you brought your guitar with us.
I brought my guitar.
We've got a little bit of time.
As a musician, I would be remiss to not bring one.
All right. So what's favor? Can you favor us with a song as
Sure.
we head out?
Yeah.
For this Tuesday.
So
it is Tuesday, isn't it?
What?
Yes.
It is only Tuesday. I got home last night. Yesterday was our last day of school. Okay. We had a teachers in service, and I got home and I was like, man, this has been a long week.
And it's only
Shelby's like,
Monday.
It's Monday. Oh man.
All right. So, what are you gonna play for us?
I'm gonna see if I remember how to play this. I think it's classical gas.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Watching a documentary on the Laurel Canyon move back in the 60s in Southern California. Echo in the Canyon. I'm watching that documentary now. Really good. I'm about halfway through it.
That's got to be cool.
Yeah, pretty darn cool. So, sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
I'd throw that in there.
Perfect timing.
Josh Livesay, everyone.
Woo! Thank you.
Thanks for joining us, man.
Hey,
Appreciate
thanks for
it.
having me, man. That was awesome.
We are looking forward to party on the football field next year.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Come
for
on
Dust.
out.
All right. For Dustin Fuller, for Josh Livesay, I'm Mark Turner. Thanks for joining us. Make it a beautiful day in Fairfield. We'll see you Friday. Our guest, SS